Hey, if you like my videos, you might also like my comedy series YouTube Blue, which premieres every Saturday on the YouTube Blue YouTube channel. Go check out the link in the description and the card above to watch the latest episode. Now on with the video. Let's be real here, Power Rangers Beast Morphers is a Neo-Saban season, not a Hasbro season. It's a Hasbro season in the same way that Wild Force is a Disney season. Wild Force is technically a Disney season because Disney owned PR at the time, but it's much more of a Saban season. It was produced by MMPR Productions, the same production company that had been making Power Rangers since the beginning. Pre-production was done at Saban before it was bought by Disney, meaning that the actual creative direction of the show was barely affected by Disney. It was still filmed in California, and like the previous few seasons, it was an equity show. Ninja Storm was the first real Disney show because it was filmed in New Zealand, non-equity, made entirely by Disney, and had no involvement from anyone on the Wild Force team, with only a few producers at the top having had any involvement at all with the franchise before. Wild Force felt like a Saban season, and Ninja Storm brought something new. Similarly, Beast Morphers was pre-produced by Saban before PR was brought by Hasbro, and had the same creative team with Chiplin as showrunner and the same writers and directors from Ninja Steel. So Dino Fury, given that we'll have a new showrunner and a largely new creative team, and is the first season done entirely by Hasbro, it will be the real first Hasbro season. With all that being said, Beast Morphers is easily the best Neo-Saban season. So let's take a look back at the previous Neo-Saban seasons and what Beast Morphers did to improve on them. Though to be fair, the bar is pretty low. So Samurai. Samurai was the first season I ever watched, and as a kid I thought it was pretty good. Looking back, it's not really that great. I'll probably make a whole video on why Samurai was doomed from the start, but it was a combination of a lack of time and a lack of creative ambition that made it bad. But Megaforce is debatably worse than Samurai. In an ideal world, they would have skipped Shinkenger altogether to keep up with the Sentai, and then did 2 Gozaiger seasons and 2 Gokaiger seasons that would have all been good as sort of a slow build up to the 20th, but that's not what we got. Megaforce is often considered the worst season ever. I personally have a bit of a soft spot for it because, again, I grew up with it. But yeah, it's not good. It's very, very generic. It's almost like a Power Rangers parody. It's like what your grandma, who's only heard of Power Rangers but hasn't actually seen it, thinks Power Rangers is. The creative direction for Samurai was just kind of copying Shinkenger, but the creative direction for Megaforce was just to fit as much action and Sentai footage into each episode as possible. In my opinion, Super Megaforce is a little better because some of the anniversary stuff they did saves it a little, but it's still not that good. So after a low point in the franchise, Dino Charge was a huge breath of fresh air. It saw the ousting of bad showrunner Jonathan Zakor and old favorite Chiplin returning. For those who don't know, Chiplin had previously been the showrunner for In Space, Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, Time Force, and the second half of RPM. Also the second half of Turbo, but I pegged that on a bunch of behind-the-scenes difficulties at the time. Dino Charge had interesting and likable characters that grew over the course of the show, unlike the previous few seasons for the most part. Dino Supercharge was a bit of a drop in quality, with some pretty dumb episodes and character stories being worse. Also, there was that very controversial finale, though personally I thought it was alright. Was it good enough to make that big of a gamble with the Power Rangers universe? No, but it was good. Then came Ninja Steel. Ninja Steel is one of only 2 seasons that I haven't watched all the way because it was just so uninteresting. There were so many filler episodes that I just ended up skipping over the ones that seemed unimportant to the main plot. Both seasons are about the same to me. Dimensions in Danger was pretty alright, though not without its problems, and I thought the opening to this series was actually pretty good, but the drop in quality, lack of compelling characters, surplus of filler episodes, and the fact that many of the major elements of the show were borrowed from Dino Charge, the season right before it, make it pretty low on my list of seasons. And then came Beast Morphers. Compelling characters, interesting villains, supporting characters that didn't make me cringe most of the time, cool story, and the fact that it both stands on its own as a good season and is able to make callbacks to previous seasons makes it easily the best Neo-Saban season in my opinion. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for daily videos on the franchises you love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.